Hey Esther, so great to have you with us. For those of you that don't know Esther, Esther helps lead IJM UK. Hopefully if you've been part of Christchurch for a while, you will have heard of IJM, but for those people who haven't, Esther, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you guys do?
Hi Tim, and thank you so much for having me. Yes, I'm part of the team IJM, which stands for International Justice Mission, and IJM is the largest anti-slavery organisation in the world. So we work all around the world, on the ground, in the trenches, finding and rescuing children and families from cases of exploitation, of violent oppression, and of slavery. And over the last few years, we've rescued just over 57,000 people from cases of oppression. But what we're also seeing is that God is in the business of making all things new, and seeing systems repaired and governments stepping up, and seeing, people being protected as well in the first place.
So it has been such a privilege for us at Christchurch to be partnering with you, which I guess like 3 or 4 years in now, particularly with your field office in the Dominican Republic. It's amazing to be able to both send you money and to pray for you, because you guys are doing amazing stuff. I guess it'd be really interesting to hear how the pandemic has affected your work around the world, as it's affected everything. What difference have you seen that make?
Well, and thank you for being on the journey with us, Tim, because it is such a blessing. And lockdown has brought a number of challenges, as you can imagine, from trafficking being driven deep and underground to those being locked down with perpetrators. Lockdown was meant to make people safe, and for victims of modern slavery, that more often than not hasn't been the case. We've particularly seen rises in bonded labour slavery, so where people have been kind of trapped in certain areas of their country and not able to get back home. And so it's been a really challenging time, if I'm honest, but we've also seen God just break through in the most remarkable ways. So both challenging and super encouraging as well, if I'm honest.
Tell us about one of those ways.
Sure. Well, we had a rescue just a couple of weeks ago in South Asia, where our teams are working with the local police there, and they rescued in one afternoon 360 people in a single rescue operation. These were cases of bonded labour slavery. These people had been held in slavery in a brick kiln. But that in itself was remarkable, like 360 is pretty amazing. But what happened in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours was just ridiculous, really. What we saw was the local authorities basically came to the place and just saw what was going on. And there'd been thousands of migrant workers who had been working there, who had got trapped because of lockdown. And what we saw over the next couple of days was a further 7,000 people released from bonded labour slavery, essentially. So, over 2 days, just over 7,000 people free from slavery. That was a pretty good day's work for IJM.
That's a good day's work. That's just amazing. Thinking forward, like we're all thinking about this at the moment, what does the next 6 months, what do the next 12 months bring? What do you see as some of like your key challenges or opportunities over this next year?
Great question. I think in a sense it's a wonderful opportunity as we hopefully will reassess a little bit about the sort of people we want to be and the sort of society we want to rebuild. And I guess our prayer, and my prayer really, is that as we're coming out of this collective trauma as a society, my prayer is that we wouldn't just hunker down, that we wouldn't just turn in on ourselves and kind of just look after ourselves, but that we would retain that bigger view, retain that global connection that actually says, you know what, we're going to reach out, we're going to be people of compassion, we're going to be people of empathy, even that we're going to love our neighbour no matter where we live, because that's what God asks us to do. We're going to be people that look outwards rather than just look inwards. So my prayer, and I guess the opportunity really, is that as we build a new futures, that we choose to build one of freedom and of justice, and particularly looking at the more vulnerable people in our world, and keeping them in mind too.
So good, so good. How can we be praying for you guys at the moment?
Oh, thanks, Tim. Well, I guess I would just really value your prayers. Just for our teams that are on the ground at the moment doing rescues in full PPE and walking along with our survivors in really challenging circumstances. Would also just value your prayers for this whole future rebuilding thing, that our nation would be known as a nation of compassion and of justice around the world.
Definitely. Esther, thank you so much for being with us today. We think you guys are amazing, doing amazing work. It's a privilege for us to be partnering with you. If you do want to find out any more about IJM, go to our website, christchurchlondon.org/social action, and on that page, you'll get a link through to IJM. You can also sign up for a monthly email where they send you prayer requests, and you get to like journey with them and find out about rescues almost in real time. So if you're interested, do that, and we will let you get on. I'm sure you've got loads of stuff to do. It's been great to have you with us at Church at Home, and I will see you on a Zoom call at some point soon.
Thanks so much, Tim. God bless.
Bye.